That's funny.
Hi, everyone. This is I'm Tracey Swainson, and this is my new friend, Ahyskel. And, and I'm saying her name wrong, but we're here to tell her story today of a mother's heart. And these are all stories taken from the middle of our healing journeys of pregnancy loss and baby loss. And each one is different, as we're all different. And while they are highly sensitive and very personable stories, please know that they are also vulnerable maybe for you watching, depending on where you are on your healing journey, but also for each woman that's telling the story. It is their heart story, and it's a story of love. And every baby loss is a love story. And so we want to honor that and honor each other as we sit here together. And we're going to have a lovely conversation, and I look forward to see where it happens to lead us. And the fun thing is that Ahyskel is living in Bali right now. And so we were just sharing about how it's the story of Julia Roberts or Elizabeth Gilbert, who went to Bali to heal. And that is kind of where we're at today. So, Ahyskel, do you want to share some of your story?
Sure. Yes. So I lost my baby boy when he was 5 months. It was due to sudden infant death. And yeah, it was a very hard hit for me as a new mother, and interrupted motherhood that you are supposed to have a lifelong. And it broke my heart so much. And I was living back then in Germany. And I needed to get out. I needed to help myself and feel something again that wasn't just pain. So actually, I had booked a flight for Killian and I to South Africa to spend Christmas in South Africa. And I wanted to take him. I mean, he was a baby, but I was pretty sure that already starting at that age to show him the world, and he would have been 8 months or 9 months by then. So I want to take him to South Africa and show him the wild animals, take him on a safari tour. And that dream was interrupted. So when that happened, I took my flight still, and with Killian in my heart, I went to South Africa, spent there a month, and I'm a surfer, so I started surfing again, since in Germany there's no surf and no beaches really. So I went to South Africa, and from there I went to Australia to see family of mine, very close family. My aunt actually, who had met Killian as well. She came from Australia to Germany to meet him before he passed away. And I went to see her in Australia for a couple of months. And from there, Destiny just took me to Bali, really doing a visa run because I was on a tourist visa in Australia. And from there, yeah, I pretty much at some point I came here, and as I said, being a surfer, I found a bit of a paradise where I could do my hobby, and I found a job teaching in a school because I'm also a teacher, and that's pretty much the beginning of the journey. Yes.
That's really incredible. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about, I know that many will want to know your experiences in Bali and how that has helped your heart to heal.
Yes.
You know, maybe it's connecting with the surf and the ocean and the healing waves, or what is it that has worked for you that, you know, has there been any moments that have been supportive for you in your healing journey?
Yes. Oh, many different moments. Killian passed away 2018, so it's been a journey of 3 years, a grief journey and healing journey. When I had arrived freshly in South Africa, it was still very fresh. It had only been a month since the funeral, and or no, yes, I think, yeah, no, not since the funeral, actually since his death. The funeral unfortunately took forever to take place because of German regulations. But yeah, it had been only a month of him having passed away. And the first time I went surfing, it was very strange. When you're passionate for something, you feel so much happiness, but at the same time you think, wait a minute, why am I feeling this? Why am I happy? Like it doesn't go along with the grief and the sad, the feelings of sadness. And you're very confused in the beginning, or that's at least how I felt, that I would spend an hour or two in the water and be really happy and feel all the endorphins, and then come out and feel, wow, what just happened? I'm actually sad. I don't know. It took a very long time to accept those feelings again. It took maybe more than a year to accept those feelings. And surfing was a big part of my healing, because it would put me in a happy place and show me, hey, you still deserve a happy place. It's still okay to be happy. And I also helped myself looking for a therapist. He is from Madrid. He speaks Spanish because that's my first mother tongue. German and Spanish are. And I wanted to connect with someone in my own language. So I found this person. He's from Madrid, as I said. And I've been ever since in therapy. So I've been ever since Killian passed away. That was around November 2018. I've been seeing Roberto, and he's been my companion throughout this journey as well, to heal and work on my emotions, my memories, my love for Killian, my connection to Killian as well.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Right. I want to speak to the one thing that you mentioned is how, thank you first. Thank you so much for being so open and bearing your heart, because this is still quite fresh for you. This is not very far from your baby loss. And the fact that you've come so far already speaks volumes. And the fact that you have Roberto, I don't have the tongue for that, but that he has you there and can support you. So I truly honor that. One of the things that you mentioned and that I love is how you found the ocean and the surf. Like you actually went someplace that is someplace that you just love to begin with, that brings you joy, and you're finding your way through, because it is still so fresh, but you're finding your way through of being able to balance joy and grief. And that is something that all of us who are healing through this are going through. Every day there's those moments, there's those nuggets that we find that bring us joy, that we don't have to stay in the heavy grief, but we need to go to the grief to heal our heart and to honor it. If we don't go there, then it stays inside for such a long time. That's something that I did. I held my grief inside and I didn't have the support. Whereas I honor the fact that you actually intentionally went someplace where you knew you could find the ocean, and the ocean brings you joy. And in that, and in your support system, you're able to honor your son through all of that. And so that's an incredible journey right there. That's going to take you so far in that. So thank you for bringing that up.
You did share a little bit your story with me, and I think what you did to try and live on was very, very courageous as well, even though it wasn't necessarily something that helped you. It was still courageous to move on, live on, continue. But definitely what I recommend is, when you're in this grief state, to be alerted, because when I was in Germany and I made that decision, it wasn't as easy as you think. I sold everything that I had, like furniture. I got rid of clothes. I just gave everything away. I had literally only a backpack on my back, like a backpacker's bag. And I left with nothing, and only 5,000 euros like that's like $7,000 I guess, in my bank account. It wasn't much. I didn't have a secure plan, but I had the secure plan in my heart that I didn't want to go crazy. I didn't want to end up depressed, and I knew that my son wouldn't have wanted it for me. He didn't come in this world for me to become a miserable person forever, to go through the grief, yes, because it was love, and that's a big emotion, but not to not love myself.
That's right.
And that's a lesson that I have been learning. I learned, and I'm still learning every day.
Yeah. And that's something that we'll be learning for the rest of our lives, how to love ourselves through all these experiences. But this one in particular, it's so big. And so I just wanted to ask one question that I am asking everyone is, what does healing mean to you? You are going through this, you're still in that space. You are in the middle of your grief journey. And so what does that healing mean to you?
It means many different things, and it's on a daily basis kind of changes. So one day healing means to lie in bed and cry my eyes out from my heart, from my soul. I don't know. I'm sure you have also have these moments when you don't just cry a little bit, but you scream in your pillow. That's part of healing. I've gone through so many of those days, and they still come. Another part of healing is also finding other people to connect, opening up to other people, being vulnerable in front and with other people. Not just with my therapist, even though he's been the biggest part of my journey, but for example, with my new partner, my boyfriend, and opening up to him being such a close part of my life now too, and tell him about that, share that with him. My friends, my new friends in Bali, open up to them. It wasn't always easy, but that's been part of healing, for them to show you who you are, and kind of talk about that person that belongs in your life that you cannot show, that it's inside your heart, but you're unable to show physically. Yeah.
That's all very, very true. And I thank you. You explained it very, very well. If you were to give some guidance to someone who's maybe going through what you went through 3 years ago, what kind of advice would you give them? What kind of wisdom would you share with them?
I would tell them what I would advise to you, to anyone, is do not bottle it up. You need help. And it's okay to need help. It's okay to be vulnerable. Seek out for the right people. For example, your family, your friends. A therapist, me personally, really helped me. And I forgot to mention earlier, I found along the way also here in Bali, many people that I would open up and say, I need help. Do you maybe know how I could help myself? And yeah, I, for example, contacted this person, and I said to him, because he does breath work, or his friend does breath work, and I told him I would like to find someone that can help me, because I was having moments that I couldn't breathe, I couldn't sleep, I had nightmares or things like that, and I opened up, and this person, this young man, he was from Perth. He said, you know what, I want to help you because I opened up. He said to me, I want to help you, and I'm not going to charge you anything. I just want to help you. And I thought, wow, I did breath work 2 times, and it was pretty magical, the moment with him, because he knew exactly how to help me. And it was a journey of accepting the emotions. And this is the biggest advice I think that I can give. Accepting your emotions, even when they don't feel good. They are part of your love. They're part of that beautiful feeling too.
Very well put. Acceptance is such a wonderful state to be in when we can get there, and it's not always an easy place to get to. And your courage to reach out to that young man and ask for help is incredible. So
yeah.
Wow. And I want to ask, are you okay? Should we take a moment?
Yes. Yes, I'm breathing very deeply up and down, how I was taught, for example, from breath work. So yes, I'm okay.
Maybe we'll just take a moment together. Let's everybody just place your hand on your heart and just take in a nice deep breath and just fill your belly. And just let it rest there. And just breathe out. And just allow any emotions that you're feeling to come through. We're all safe in all of our emotions. And it's okay to cry when we need to. I would love to speak about Kenyon. Would you, how have you felt his spirit with you while you've been in there in Bali? I know that you've spoken that, he would want you to be happy and he would want you to be living life fully.
Yes.
And I'm sure that his presence has come through for you.
Oh yes. Where do I start? So first of all, Killian, I kind of was thinking I really want to share a beautiful picture of us. It's on my phone, but yes. Just a second. Downloads. This is one of my kind of last memories with him. I don't know if you can see it, but this is Killian.
Beautiful child. Look at that smile.
You had the biggest smile on earth. It was incredible. It was so beautiful. And it was funny. I have brown eyes, and his dad had brown eyes. His dad was half Guatemalan, half German, kind of like me, half Venezuelan, half German. And he had these big blue eyes. And it was funny because he looked so much like my ex-husband's dad, like so much like his sorry, I'm blanking on words.
Grandmother.
Like his grandfather, actually. He looked so much like his grandfather, who was the German. But he had these big blue eyes, and neither of us had big blue eyes, and we thought, oh, and he was so smiley all the time. He was a big heart. And well, I'm sorry, I kind of forgot your question.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. I was just asking if you felt his spirit coming through, and I think that right there in remembering his smile,
yes,
that is his spirit coming through to you. Yes.
I have had very special moments and very unique moments as well. So he comes through to me through memories, and I do a journal sometimes. I'm not very much into journaling every day, but when I feel that I need to, I do it, and I express my gratitude. I don't want to put down negative thoughts. That's a decision I've made for myself. It's different from person to person. But when I feel sad or happy, I have a journal where I express my gratitude for having met him, having had a beautiful pregnancy and a beautiful birth, and I was able to breastfeed him. I had so much milk, like all these beautiful things that I can be grateful for. And I journal, and I would like to share a story that I had that was so helpful for my healing. Was when you have lost someone that you love so dearly, and when it's your child, son or daughter, you want to be with them. you miss them, or at least this is how I felt. And I'm not speaking of harming yourself, but what I'm saying is you wonder where they went, and that you want to be with them, you still want to protect them. And that was something, I was confused, like, how can it be that I'm here and he's not? Where is he? And I was on this little hill here in Bali, overviewing the ocean in the middle of the night, and I was crying a lot. And I said to the heaven, take me to him. I wanna be with him. And I had read The Little Prince. That was my favorite book of all times. And The Little Prince is this cute little guy that comes to Earth, and he leaves again because he needed to go back to his planet, right? And the way he leaves, and he tells also the other main character, that's this man in the desert, says, don't worry about me. I will leave my body behind, but I will be safe. And the snake needs to bite me for me to be able to leave and be able to leave my body behind, but I'm going back home to my planet. And that story, I mean, it's even before I ever met Killian, it's been part of my life. And then I met my little prince, that was Killian. And I was on this hill and I was crying and I was begging, please send me a snake that I can go in and join him. And it's just how funny sometimes things work. I suddenly felt something on my leg and I thought, I jumped up and I was scared. And I, at that moment, noticed, like, no, I actually don't want to leave the planet just yet. And he was a little cat. I mean, I was in the middle of nowhere on a little hill. And there was this little cat that was roaming around and jumped on my shoulder and was super cuddly and meowing and so cute. And I thought, I cannot believe it. Killian sent me a little cat for love, for affection.
Oh,
That was really beautiful. That moment really helped me to start accepting his presence in a different way. It's not easy. Of course it's not. But it's possible. It really is possible to live with that in your heart and the love that you have for your child and have a beautiful life.
We're going to leave this right here. I don't want to take you through anymore, so we're going to leave it right there. That was a beautiful story. And I do believe that that was Kenyan coming through, for one, showing you that, no, Mama, it's not time yet. And there's other things here to love. And what a beautiful, beautiful gift that he gave you. So yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I hope that you found this story beautiful and it touched your heart. And this is the middle of Ahyskel's healing journey. She is still going through this. And so the amount of respect that I have for you for coming through and being willing to share your story at this place, I truly honor and respect you for that. And I want to thank everyone who's listening. And please do understand that these are very vulnerable stories that are being shared. And we honor you for that. And thank you.
Thanks to you, Tracey.